Hey, good morning. I'm John Rhoads. This is Rhoads Life Coaching. And this morning I wanted to uh, share an experience for myself that I've had in just the last couple days that has kind of given me a different perspective on my own internal awareness. And I'm hoping that it's something that you might find some value in. In in looking through the videos that I've posted over the last few years, there's only one video that I've talked about joy or being joyful. And it was actually about foreboding joy, which is something different. But focusing on, for me, focusing on what is joy and where is it? Where do I find it? And as I was thinking about that and noticing that I haven't really talked about it very much, the immediate image that comes to mind is the Pixar movie Inside Out. And I've talked about it before, and it has for me, a lot of insights into how we function as human beings and what emotions are for us and how our brains work. But the main character in that movie is joy. And there's a main part of the movie, a main part of the story is that she goes away from her main center in the character's brain and is lost. And I guess it hadn't really struck me before, and maybe it should have, but it hadn't struck me before that finding joy ends up being a main theme of that Inside Out movie. If that's true, then where do I find my own joy? Where is joyfulness for me? Does it reside inside of me? Is it outside of me? Those are two different things, and I would argue that the answer is both. And if it's true that I have my own internal joy, where is that character inside of me? Where does it reside? Where is it lost? How do I create it or build it? And so thinking about that perspective, I'm wondering if there is some value for each of us in considering where is it that we keep our joy? How do we stoke it up and make it more powerful? How do we make it a stronger version of who we are? And if it is something that we haven't thought about before, where is it now? Is it sitting in a place of power inside of ourselves, or is it something that is actually lost? And if it is lost, then it might be valuable to go find where joy is inside of ourselves. That becomes part of a narrative then of finding and going and looking and understanding for yourself where it may have been lost, where it may be now, and figuring out how to get it back. I would challenge you and request to take an opportunity to look at that narrative for yourself. Have I lost my joy? Where is it? And how do I get it back? And making an effort then to build that into your daily life. Is it possible to find joy? Not necessarily in the external things of how the world works, but inside of ourselves, and where it is a character inside of us, a version of ourselves that we can have be in place and not get lost again. Take some time and think about that. Figure out what your versions of the story is, relate it back to Pixar's Inside Out, and how do you understand what your version of that character is? Who is he or she, and where do they appear in your life, and where are they missing from your life that they need to be plugged back in? Take some time and practice that over the next few days and weeks and see what you observe. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to help in developing that conversation or that idea for you. Please feel free to comment below, and always please feed the algorithm and share this and like this with folks. Share it with folks that you know would be interested. I'm John Rhoads. This is Rhoads Life Coaching. I hope you're able to find purpose and meaning in daily life.